Welcome to the final of the recommended sets tournament. This has been going on for about the past 2 months, and what it is that the players play with the recommended sets from the rulebook. So this particular final between McTenock and Exodus, they are going to be playing recommended sets with plunder cards. So these are the recommended sets in the rule books. And we'll go on with it. Exodus is being, I don't know, interesting here because you actually saw I think actually 3 of these kingdoms in the semifinal match, that is Plunder Kingdoms, and won all 3 of the games, so at least partially should, I guess, know how they work. Anyways, we'll start off with this one, which is actually all Plunder cards. It's very orange, but everything you could possibly want is here. I mean, there's Village, Longship, Draw, True, Siren, Trashing, Pickaxe, Pious, Grotto. I guess there's also Village and Prepare. There's some, I'm not going to say awkwardness just because it's Pickaxe with the plus buy, but it's coming out of this loot pile. That apparently you don't get to see, I guess, for obvious reasons, in a right click. And let's see, we have a 5-2 here. For me, I think that's probably looking like Pickaxe, Grotto, Trashing, and Estate. Not really, I don't think there's really anything else you might do. I guess curiosity on Pickaxe is how you're actually going to get things to trash into the deck. Just because there's no plus buy before that, it might be looking at something like Quartermaster, which is certainly a bit slow for the purposes of just getting something to trash. And there's also silver, of course. Can always work. The 4-3 is much less obvious. I suspect it'll be, well, we'll see. Silver Grotto. Yeah, okay. So Mick is looking to probably reach up to a big number with the Grotto. Maybe not big, but Pickaxe. So on. Let's see. What else have I not said about the actual format yet? They're playing first to 3.5, so depending on how it goes, it could be a bit of a longer match. Not just because of whatever, but because of not because they're slow, but because there's just a lot of games to play. And yeah, I guess we're going to see a second Grotto here. So this works out to sort of a perfect shuffle, which actually isn't necessarily the best thing with Grotto. Often you want to be making sure to shuffle nearly every turn, to just make sure that you keep seeing Grotto. If you can get a setup like that, it ends up being that you'll see Grotto every single turn, pretty much guaranteed. But I think with the Pickaxe and the trashing out, it's probably working out okay. Alright, mixed Grotto misses, which again might not really be the best thing ever. Stowaway does seem reasonably likely to be able to activate basically every turn because just about everything's orange. Pickaxe is a thing that's not, and then there's some number of loots that are, so it is something there. I think as Exodus, I'd be probably picking up Quartermaster here, just to start getting gains in. Something like Crew is also probably actually fairly reasonable, just because the the grottos are non-terminal and they kind of stay out of the way. And there's also prepare if you really miss. But I'm probably expecting a Quartermaster. Could also be Cutthroat, but since Mick hasn't picked up a Pickaxe yet, although you kind of have to expect that Mick is going to hit on this next turn, given what you've seen. It ends up being the Quartermaster, and this is actually a really excellent draw for you, Exodus, being able to set aside 3 coppers, play the Quartermaster. Just call it a turn. So this is gonna, if you Exodus sets aside 3 coppers, this is gonna start to get into the special grotto cycling, where you pretty much get to guarantee C1 each turn. Setting aside nothing was not really on my agenda, I have to say. It's kind of a little bit, I guess, lackluster not to be setting anything aside, because like this turn, if you apparently wants Sirens out of the grottos. What do we think of Siren? I mean, looking at mixed deck right now, I have to imagine Siren's fine, but Mick is probably struggling a little bit to be able to draw around and really trash out. I think this is almost surely a Pickaxe for Mick. I'm actually a little bit surprised that the Quartermaster came first. But let's see. Yep, another Quartermaster. I don't think Mick can actually defend particularly well against Siren in that case, because it's already not particularly trashed down, and the trashing is not going into the deck right now, so it seems like it'll probably be a little bit tough. Doubloons is definitely not what you wanted to see there. It's one that you would be very happy to see later in the game, but you were totally looking for a plus buy right there. 8 and 2 buys. Alright, well, let's see how this goes. I guess Mick's gonna trash out this grotto. Or maybe there's gonna be an undo here. Some amount of confusion of Quartermaster. I guess actually you don't need to trash the grotto. You can just set aside Siren because of how Quartermaster's worded. You gain a card, then set it aside. Pretty sure. So you Exodus actually unnecessarily trashed a grotto earlier. That might be why Mick invested so heavily in the Quartermasters. Just a interaction that I missed. Yeah, it does trash the grotto. I don't think you have to. I don't know if somebody in Spec Chat has a better idea, but yeah, I don't think you have to. As UX will have another opportunity to get a buy out of this Pickaxe here. Might choose to skip over it for at least one more turn though. Yeah, the thing I'm thinking is like if you decide to play the Grotto, you Grotto aside 3 coppers, you pickaxe a copper, you hit 5, and you're pretty happy about that too. You don't need to be taking out the gold quite yet. But it sort of feels to me like Exodus is trying to, I'm not going to say do it without, but do it without grottos. So I'm expecting a pickaxe gold for sure. Nope, doing it this way. There's also no duration draw for UX just going into next turn. So may feel like the Grotto is necessary just to see enough cards. Picks up another Longship. I'm not too hot on that one this turn. I think that could have been better as like another pickaxe or a crew even. Like I'm not gonna say you're exactly happy about seeing this Longship here, but it seems to be working out okay. Got everything played, although it's pretty likely that you would anyways, just because, as I've said many times, everything's orange and you'd be buying a Longship here. So it's not like these stowaways wouldn't have gotten played. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of consideration for a second Siren. I just don't think it's happening. Second Quartermaster's a little bit curious. On this side. I mean, I thought it was kind of curious on Mick's side too, but I guess there's also like this other function of Quartermaster where you can trash out a card at the start of your turn, just setting aside a Grotto. It's probably not the best use of your 5 cost. It could just be pickaxe and you have that anyways, but it is something that Quartermaster can do. Yeah, I think Stowaway to Siren would have been a good move, especially considering that there's already Siren, 2 Longships, and 1 Stowaway out there. There's going to be no problems drawing out the deck this turn. The second Stowaway is absolutely not going to be doing anything. Mick does do the gain a Grotto, trash a card move. And more stowaways, so it's kind of this funny thing with Stowaway. Yeah, look, neither of the stowaways drew anything. It's kind of this funny thing with Stowaway where you get one and then you just keep getting more because they're cheap and they let you play other stowaways, and at some point you have to wonder like what you were doing with your Dominion life, but before that you can just keep piling them up. On a not so orange board, eventually you get to a point where you're just looking at a bunch of stowaways that sometimes you can't do anything with, or are much more difficult to do stuff with than they used to be, but no longer. Should move the mouse out of the way. So this is 10. As you exodus here, I'm probably looking at a Cutthroat. You have to start expecting that the other side of things, mixed side of things, is gonna be gaining treasure. And I mean, you can activate it yourself too. Just pickaxe doubloons, or buying a pickaxe, second pickaxe. I don't know how necessary that is, but it seems not unreasonable. So I'm definitely liking a Cutthroat on this buy. Pickaxe is good for gaining loot, but at some point you do have to be buying things to trash to them or gaining things to trash to them. So that Cutthroat's looking pretty good. Mick's definitely struggling here. Siren does apparently trash out of Quartermaster. I guess you gain it, then it gets trashed, then you would set it aside. That might be the order that's going on there. Yeah. Second pickaxe is probably necessary. So UX just gets a I guess full turn here. Longship crew, Cutthroat, Siren. I don't think there's much other way to be doing it. One thing about not having a second Siren for either of them is that normally the Cutthroat attack is pretty well hard countered by Siren on this board, but that's not really happening here. So actually Mick last turn I guess would have been better off Quartermastering a Grotto, just noting that the Siren, no trick, but trick doesn't really work. That sword looks like garbage. We'll see if the sword ever gets to discard a card. The Cutthroat might stay out one of the turns, but I'm not believing it too much. Wonder if we'll see the last two Stowaways go here. It'd certainly be something I'd call impulsive. No, two Longships makes a lot of sense, just because you need the village space. So I think one of these Quartermasters possibly wants to be gaining a Siren, trashing the Stowaway, and the other possibly a I guess Gondola is fine enough. It's better than silver anyways. I think just because Mick is trying to trash a little bit more, an extra Siren kind of enhances the ability for Quartermaster to do that for you. This is why I'm so into it. But maybe there's just kind of I really don't understand gaining silver with Quartermaster over Gondola. Maybe it's a Piles thing, but like, this is, if you're not trying to use the action and you're not worried about Piles, it's kind of just, at least to me, it feels like it's just better. There's some temptation to think about trashing the Grotto here, but I don't think it's really there, just because there's no Siren coming into this turn. So you're still looking at 3 cards of duration draw that aren't there going into next turn. Although there's like a whole bunch of stowaways out. 1, 2, 3 of them. So maybe that's not so necessary. And you can certainly hit the numbers that you want. The Quartermaster set aside Stowaway. So like this goes up to what? 14, 15. I certainly might just go for 15 here. You want to buy probably a Pickaxe, maybe like Pickaxe Longship Crew. Crew is probably possibly unnecessary. Pickaxe Longship, Cutthroat. I don't think a second Cutthroat's very good either. Maybe set aside with Grotto, go down to 10, just because everything else is a little bit lacking. $13. Okay, the Pickaxe was expected. Okay, Province. Started to feel like greening's an okay thing. Mix still... I mean... Mick is still arguably a few many turns from being able to kind of green at the same rate as you Exodus is, which is actually a pretty, severe problem here. You Exodus will be pretty happy to trash that figurehead when the time comes. But I think this one's pretty well over. The 5-2 is a big deal for sure, and I think Mick was just kind of slow on the pickaxes. Maybe the Quartermasters were productive, but I think it's just tough to do without. Without the earlier trashing. Maybe a little bit surprised at trashing the copper there. I think I'd rather be buying 2 5s, although I guess there's some motivation to just try to keep up on the green. I don't think it's particularly realistic to do that, but so I think here I'd be like quartermastering a Gondola. You could also think about quartermastering a Siren and trashing Stowaway. Just to get the Siren into next turn. I don't know how much good the Stowaway draw is doing. It's probably doing enough good now that you're greening. And alternating Siren Grotto isn't the worst thing either. So I'm expecting this figurehead to be trashed along with a copper. For sure. You're drawing so much, especially at start of turn, that I don't think the duration draw is doing a whole lot for you. And really the duration is potentially just harmful because you aren't getting the coins each turn. Next turn in particular is not going to need the help with the Siren at the start of it too, in addition to all these other things that were there this turn. I'm gonna guess figurehead trash, copper trash, double province. I mean, you also want to pickaxe at least one of these to get your Cutthroat activated and back. Is sword, which is, I guess fine. Although I think with the Endless Chalice instead of sword, it misses double province. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. No, it's not right. What happened there? Or played amphora. Okay, that was just me making stuff up. Let's see, what's aside? Gondola Grotto. Might be taking both of those to hand. I don't think Nick has any real way to reach double this turn. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You'd have to be trashing a Stowaway, gets you to 14, Gondola gets you to 16. Well, I suppose you also don't really want to double. You want to do something like Province Double Duchy, which is 18, which is definitely not happening. Because a double province is simply going to lose. So, I suppose a single province probably loses also. I suspect you Exodus can triple either trashing Stowaways or trashing province. To Pickaxe. So if on mixed side you're thinking you can't take a province right here, I think you're pretty much dead. And even if you think you can take one province, I think you lose off of that also. There's probably not actually really an option to not take that province, but you might like to believe there is. So this is Province Duchy, so we're expecting that you Exodus will have a win here. I guess having the figurehead out might make it a little bit tougher than it would otherwise be. In fact, a lot tougher. Now we ask what the heck I was talking about this triple province thing, right? 9, 10, 14, 15, 16. This is not reaching. Actually, there's a gondola right here, right? Okay, this reach is assuming you don't pull an endless chalice. So 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then trashing 2 stowaways you hope gets you to 24. And I don't think there's really a reason to not go for it. Maybe you pull Endless Chalice and then what? You double Province Duchy and you still win. Mick's not making up a double Province Duchy in one turn. So, yeah. Yeah, doubles safe. And I mean, it won't be double. It'll be like double province and a duchy even. I don't think there's any point in not going for triple. There's so much duration draw going into next turn. You just don't need to worry about like heart missing. Come on, let's see some not stowaways. So I'm going to point out this absolutely would have tripled. Figurehead and Pride Go was good enough. I don't think double's actually the most safe thing ever. Let's see, so Mick can set aside 2 estates, and then just needs to get Province Duchy estate to tie against a double. Oh no, there's 2 extra points there, so would need Province Double Duchy, which I think is potentially possible. I'm not sure that it's that likely, but I'm not thinking that double like guarantees any wins. Yeah. So this looks bad. I'm not sure Mick is going to have 3 provinces in here, but it seems, at least to me, at least outwardly plausible that it might be able to happen. Might take a province trash, but I think going out for triple province or double province duchy was a whole lot better move there for you, Exodus. Yeah, trashing 2 stowaways is totally not getting there. So UXS will get another turn, certainly. So since Mick isn't, ending the game this turn, although, had it been double province, this would have been 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. Not quite enough. But I think it does put it into the realm of what would have been possible, so. After not going after the win last turn, the triple duchy was probably appropriate. I'd have just gone after the win. Winning the game's got to be good, right? So I mean, looking over here at this play area, I think Mick has to imagine that double is totally something that will happen, no matter what. The one thing you might think about doing is taking, like, I don't know. I'm really not seeing it on that side. Just, yeah, this is gonna go back and play one Stowaway. There we go. Very suspicious. You never know. You might have gotten a duration. Oh, not really. And this will be 2 duchies and maybe an estate. I think you have to imagine that you're losing this turn if the estate's making a difference. Because like right now there's going to be a win available if you Exodus plays the Siren. It's just 2 duchies, 2 curses. Or potentially, I guess, 2 duchies, 2 estates. If you're not into curses, but I'd be into curses. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so there was a missed win, or I guess it wasn't guaranteed because you might have pulled an Endel's Chalice, but there was a probable win there. That was missed. And we're on to the next one, which is Plunder and Prosperity. It's mixed start. We'll have, well, we'll see the board soon enough. This one, the previous one was called Jetsam, and this one is called Buying Happiness. So, well, we'll see if happiness can be bought shortly. Looks like there's some disconnect there. Well, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see if happiness can be bought. New Table has fixed this in the past. I guess we're gonna see a new one. There's something a little bit weird. I'm not sure what exactly is kind of the reason behind. It's like there's this thing where you disconnect and then rejoin a table and then it fails, but it's working now. So just there's some villages. Swamp Shack Stowaway can be quite a lot of draw. You'll also have Caged Power Swamp Shacks. I'm assuming people will go after Cage for thinning. At some point, Magnates are going to be getting into the deck. You're actually not going to mind that too much. It's just going to be extra draw with the Stowaway starts. And there's looting. Looting is, I guess, how you're intending to buy happiness if you consider loot happy. And then Pendant. If you have quite a bit of loot, Pendant will be pretty good. Mining Road enhances both looting and Pendant. You can do them later, so you're probably going to want to pick up some of those. I think Cage is really obvious on the start. It's probably Cage Clerk. Start to get some attacking in. Here's where we kind of see Stowaway be Cage's duration, but Stowaway be kind of a only duration out here. So it'll be a little bit more complicated than the last game. Just might not want to pound them quite so hard, although 2 villages there, so there should be plenty of space. Something else here is that we have Fawning Magnates, but it is a colonies board, so you might not actually be getting them into the deck so much. Let's see, McTigs, yeah. That Clerk is expected. I'm guessing this might be a mining road here on this 5. This is actually really... Oh, Mick's Cage missed, and also the Clerk missed, so that's just awful. And this is also looking pretty good on this side, getting to set aside 2 estates, 2 coppers. I do not think much of that Magnate, but I guess it'll work out. This is just a brutal draw. Just so awful. So awful. So Mick isn't actually going to set aside anything with this Cage. It's going to be Anvil discarding it. Play the Stowaway. Anvil discard Cage for something and buy a Stowaway. Something I'm thinking is probably going to be Workers' Village, although we may see a Swamp Shacks this early. Doubting it. Okay, we do indeed see a Swamp Shacks this early. See what Mick does here. Could be looting, could be mining road, could be Magnate apparently. I guess what I was missing on the Magnate is that Mick's still having the Cage to do. You're not actually that unhappy with it, or you're fine with kind of the terminal awkward drawness of it. I think UXS should be putting some stowaways in. Possibly another Anvil is in order too. Yeah. So this Cage turn will at least sort of work out. There, maybe just Workers' Village. Maybe a tiny bit surprised at the mining road. Maybe. This is actually fine. You can cage some things by a Stowaway, or potentially even buy another Cage, because you want to take the estates out. Looks like a Stowaway. Not really the best turn. I'm really not so convinced on the Swamp Shacks before there's any Stowaways in, and Mick currently has all 3 of the Stowaways, so it's maybe not the most convincing thing I've seen. And now we see Magnate do its absolutely awful thing. So this is going to just be the most amazing Magnate. like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, I think this game is pretty well turned around this past shuffle. I think a lot of that's attributable to Stowaway. This would be a looting. Yep. Yeah. I think you almost have to. Well, I expect a Stowaway buy. The gain will probably be a Workers' Village or Swamp Shacks. And Mick'll definitely benefit from being able to play the Stowaway. Like I'd be pretty stunned if we didn't see a Stowaway buy there. Nope, it's a silver. Bit of a surprise. I mean, that's kind of saying to me that you think you're going to be drawing all right, which, well, I guess looking at this turn, maybe it will be. Though it's still a bit of a struggle. You might be looking at another cage being necessary. I don't think quite yet, but I think on the UX side at this point, you're kind of trying to avoid another cage. I'm not really understanding that looting. It ended up working out to get the puzzle box, but Pendant was cheaper and I think just better. 4 coins, yeah. So that looting was mysterious. You're not going to be using all 4 buys here, so probably wanted the extra coin. Although I guess 5 versus 4 might not mean that much. Could be what, Stowaway cage. Be kind of happy with that. Or another Magnate, potentially. Mick, I guess, has something of a decision here whether to trigger this. I guess the answer ends up being yes, because you'll draw the Magnate off the top and have like a perfect turn. Which isn't like undeserved or anything. It was a totally fine thing to do to draw off the top there. It wasn't lucky. Well, I mean, it was lucky to draw the Magnate, but it wasn't lucky to have the turn end up good as a result. Drawing off the top. So yeah, you'll cage set aside. I'm guessing possibly everything. As Mick right here, I really want a mining road. Really want a mining road. With this Pendant business being as it is, whatever that means. With this Pendant business, I think adding a mining road right here is rather strong. It means that you can buy Pendant for 5, and I guess you'll get like 5 coins out of it right away. Maybe 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. So I think I'd set aside everything and gain like maybe Stowaway mining road. I actually have no clue how much money this is. If you set aside everything, you'll have what? 2, 7? Maybe you go for 8. Then you can so set aside 2 estates and 1 copper, and that can be like a Stowaway mining road, gain a Workers' Village, or gain a Swamp Shacks. Seems rather worthy too. That is indeed what's about to happen. Might actually see a silver Anvil. I don't like the Pendant at all. I think mining road is just better. Like, you're gonna be wanting to buy more treasures. Silver, okay. The pendant, I don't know. Like you can look at the pendant as being more money this turn and not so much next turn, but the mining road also represents a lot of money next turn when you buy the pendant and play it right away. So I'm not a fan of that move. UXvis decides that they are really in need of another cage, which after seeing the last couple turns seems probable, but it also seems like it's possibly a little bit too late. But I guess next turn's setting up pretty well on that side, so it may be more even than the last couple turns have had us believe. And Mick only seems to really be the maybe half turn of first player ahead, which is really an accomplishment after how the start of the game went, but maybe not as good as it's been feeling. Still really want a mining road. Hammer's really nice. Go like mining road Magnate there, maybe. Mining road swamp shacks. We're getting to a point where swamp shacks may just outdraw Magnate even. Well, maybe that's not true. I'm still really skeptical of just buying the pendants over without having mining road. Especially with the hammer not adding plus buy, like true plus buy. I guess there was a workers' village gained. All right, ignore that thought. I think I'd still like the mining road. Okay, well, despite looking like a possibly good turn, this one failed also. Didn't find Magnate. So it's looking pretty bad over there. I don't know. I don't really know what this is going to buy. I think this is actually all the villages, which makes it even worse. Yeah, this is definitely all the villages. So this is just kind of dead. There's basically no way to have a reasonable turn here. Yeah. Yeah, the Stowaways really came through. Mick turned that one around. And maybe the second cage earlier came through. I didn't like the non-mining roads, but the draw was working better enough on Mick's side that I don't think it mattered that much. Alright. Happiness was bought. Now we have Voodoo, Plunder, and Base. Which will naturally also involve loot, and also involves Shaman, so that's exciting. There's some additional trashers in there, including Remodel, which is interesting. Although there's not really like a gold gainer, so it's not like you'll be remodeling gold and giving it to them. Not that you would probably want to be doing that anyways, but I guess we're new tabling again. It's pretty noxious. Oh, it's something with the traits, as I recall. The traits don't decouple from the card and the back end. And so when you try to start a table, it fails. I think the swamp shacks were fine, but you're not really looking for a massive overdraw. You're just looking for like a drawing village. Like you're pretty happy with Lost City, and they were doing that. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to make a new table each time because of the trait thing. Sadly, Shaman Moneylender seems like a clearish opening. Advantage to Mick to see a Trasher turn 3, although it's not quite as, I don't want to say necessary, but it's not quite as whatever on that turn. This could be Buried Treasure, yeah. I think you probably still want Artisan. I guess one of the things you're looking for on this board is like First Mate Festival. With the Cursed on Festival, it sure seems awkward though. So you might actually see something that looks a whole lot more like Buried Treasure Money that actually gets played. But we'll see. Like you can trash pretty well. Well, I don't know that you can trash well because of Shaman, but you can pretend like you're trashing pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another Shaman to try to get on top of stuff. The Artisan kind of points to me that okay, I'm going to be playing this probable First Mate Festival deck. So another Shaman seems in order. I mean, the Artisan could also just totally go for Buried Treasure too, but remodel. I guess you get value out of remodel either way, like copper into Shaman, estate into whatever. You think about Gondola here to play both of these. I don't know. Artisan to Gondola, probably not. Buy Gondola, Artisan a Buried Treasure, maybe. First Mate on top, maybe. Alright. I think this was actually not this was the worst way to do it. I think it should have been Moneylender, estate, buy Gondola, or Moneylender, buy Gondola, play Artisan, top deck, something nice like a First Mate. So that didn't look as amazing. I think Mick could have done the same thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Mick could have done the same thing there. So I think those are actually both misses on. They're going to end up buying the 5 and top decking crap rather than buying the Gondola and top decking the 5. Although this buy, like UX just last turn, we saw the first make. This buy for make, I think, will possibly better inform what's happening over there. Although they're just seeing the Artisan's a little, I don't know, questionable, but mysterious. Okay, so Mick's tending on the buried treasure stuff. I don't know if it'll keep being buried treasure stuff, but it sure looks that way. Flagship. Be another buried treasure. Okay. Yeah, so I think Mick is possibly tending a little bit more money. I think UX just is trying to build. Although, what are we? Turn 10. So I don't know exactly. I mean, the buried treasures are also just kind of good to have in deck, right? We'll see. Yeah, I think it'll just be keeping buried treasures. So now you want to buy a Gondola. Play the Artisan. I don't think you're wanting to pick up like 2 gondolas if you're playing a deck with first mates. But you do want to be playing at least one of these. I guess we can see like Gondola, play Artisan, and then Maelstrom actually. That actually looks like a pretty good move from right here. Buy Gondola, play Artisan, maybe gain a buried treasure, maybe gain a first mate. If it's buried treasure, top deck the Flagship. If it's first mate, probably top deck the first mate by Maelstrom. If you're trying to build here, that's got to be the way to do it. You have to start getting more stuff out of the deck. Just Maelstrom forces that. We're trash right now. 2 estates and a copper. Okay, we're seeing it. Okay, that all looked good. I guess the other thing to maybe watch out for, that I'm not sure how much of a thing it is or not, is against this kind of more treasury deck, Maelstrom maybe does it a little bit more. Or is higher impact. I really am not going to like what I'm about to see, which I almost guarantee you is going to be gaining a Gondola for Flagship. It's kind of a trick to this deck that's trying to build up actions with First Mate and Festival, where you're tricked into gaining all of these treasures to play your cards, even though that's a little bit potentially lackluster. But no, I guess we're just going to start provincing on this side too. Just figured out that the deck is maybe not happening so much. Top deck of copper here is Mick. You don't need to be buying a Shaman. Not where we're going. Yeah. So my feel is right now is that Mick sort of has the better deck plan, but it's not exactly fully clear who's is maybe ahead. Just because the UX deck, despite being a little bit disorganized, is still kind of producing at the necessary rate to keep up with this, and even get ahead of it. This should be first mating Shaman, just trashing nothing. Okay. Do you want to Artisan another Gondola? Probably. It doesn't actually reach 8, I suppose. It gets close, but it doesn't quite get there. So you might like Artisan a Gondola, play Flagship, take one of the Gondolas for next turn, buy Buried Treasure. And then next turn I'll have 3 Buried Treasure and a Gondola going into it. That seems pretty worthwhile. Actually, I'm not sure if it's better to spike like that or whether to like top deck a Buried Treasure for this turn, since you'll be having 8 next turn. Going into next turn with 11's nice, but if you can't double Province, it comes up a little bit maybe short of where you would actually want the Buried Treasures to be. I guess both Gondolas are going for next turn. That's kind of a surprise. Yeah, okay. One of these is going to go for this turn. Buy a Buried Treasure or buy a Duchy? It's like a Duchy. I'm kind of half expecting Mick to just remodel the Artisan here. That might be off. You can also think about like remodeling Flagship to Gondola, playing Artisan. Like remodel Flagship to Gondola, play Artisan a Buried Treasure. No, okay, it's just going to be to Province. Buy Gondola, play Flagship. Like that could have been Duchy and something for next turn, but I think this was fine. This was fine. So we have a double Flagship. I could imagine it being like just Artisan for 2 Duchies, top deck first mate Gondola, by Province. That seems good enough, certainly. I guess it's not exactly spectacular on the buy Province the turn after front. So I guess we're seeing 2 Buried Treasure with intent to say, okay, I can buy Province turn 16. It's totally gonna happen. And I mean, yeah, it'll happen. On the other hand, I guess it can also double Duchy. So when Mick inevitably does buy Duchy here, I mean, Province is clearly bad, right? Don't know that I'm feeling particularly voodooed from this deck, or this board, but as it goes. . I guess Mick's actually deciding whether it's worth playing the Shaman here twice or not. I guess the ultimate decision was yes, it was. Duchy estate, alright. So this can double Duchy. I think it can also probably Duchy Province. Maybe not quite. First mating the Moneylender seems like a proper move. For sure. And then see what happens. Any estates left in the trash? No. There is an Artisan left in the trash. That's kind of interesting. So Exodus has decided that estate's more important than having an Artisan. I guess Mick did too last turn. Yeah. Interesting. First mated Flagship. That means you definitely don't want to be buying a Gondola here for Moneylender, because you'd be double playing that, which is no good. Thinking probably next time this Gondola and then 2 duchies. Yeah. And it's just kind of full green here. It kind of brings up a decision for Mick whether it's actually going to be worth it to gain a duchy here. I mean, I guess you probably have to think that, okay, I need to keep up on the duchies, and so like potentially if UXs were to duchy next turn, Mick could still win with like remodeling a thing that doesn't exist because there's no remodel in this hand. I guess it moved over into the next one. So UX just double duchying here puts Mick needing to province. And that certainly seems like maybe a good move. Maybe you skip playing the Shaman too. You'll miss the duchy, but you'll potentially set up keep the Flagship out for an Artisan that I think is coming this next turn. Which could be effective at even just like winning the game by taking gondolas, whatever. On the other hand, I mean, knowing Mick's hand, you'd be double duchying, so yeah. This is definitely seeming like more of a way to go. So UX just has no durations out at all. Mick has no durations out at all also, or will have no durations out at all also, but I think you still probably province here. You could even think like province. No, I guess you can't Maelstrom. I'm gonna say you might actually think about a Maelstrom there just to try to make that province buy a little bit less likely, but not necessary. You know, surprise, I guess there is no remodel in here. Somebody can put in chat, there's this bug with traits, where the traits stay attached behind the scenes. So that was a duchy. I guess that duchy does a bit of good because it means that the gondola can work, but as Mick here, I think I trashed the Moneylender. Artisan. Maybe you don't trash the Moneylender. Maybe like Artisan. No, you can't Artisan Gondola because that's going to lose. You could maybe Artisan Remodel. I don't think the Remodel actually does that much good because you have to necessarily collide it with the Artisan to do anything. Could take a first mate. I'm a little skeptical on that one. And maybe you take a silver. You could just take a silver, top deck it. Right. Just try to give yourself the best chance at hitting Province, which I think is trash the Moneylender, Artisan, a silver, stick that on top by play Buried Treasure. Nothing really matters other than that Province right now. If you're Mick. Other than don't take this Gondola. Okay. The expected thing happens. Is a copper good? Maybe. I'm thinking copper might be good. Like, you need to reach 5 next turn with a silver, so... yeah. Alright, so Mick a win. Which, I think, like, Mick's approach to getting to this deck that they really both have was a lot more direct. Which is... you know, always helpful. So that's as it happened. And then I think like there's some amount that was just going to be a little bit random. We'll get ready to leave this table. This one's gonna fail for sure. And I guess see what the next kingdom is. It is Knight of the Loot, Plunder and Nocturne. Featuring Crypt, if that's something you're into. Pious Taskmasters, if that's something you're into. Sack of Loot Pendant, that could be a lot of money. There's Drawn Tragic Hero and Werewolf, but you could actually play this without really a whole lot of actions. I think there's potential for just doing big Figurine and then crypting stuff away. You might get like 3 Taskmaster to take out the estates, but I'm maybe not the most convinced that trying to do the action card stuff is actually that good. I think I'd for sure open double Taskmaster, trashing estates. It actually gives you a pretty good chance at hitting 5 off that, which can be, Figurine. Make ops for a cabin boy. But I think the 3 certainly wants to be a Taskmaster. The 4 you could leave a little bit more up for debate. Well, I say that, and then we see the cabin boy come out. Turn 3, so that'll be nice. I think I'd just be doing double Taskmaster though. I suppose you can maybe pick up a Tragic Hero that'll be a little bit tough to activate without another action card. Having Tragic Heroes in like the Figurine Sack Pendant deck isn't the worst thing ever either. Like, you'll always be happy to see them, just because you should constantly have 2-3 Taskmasters out. Yeah. I'm expecting this to be another Taskmaster. And it is. That's the only reason you'd be playing these coppers like this. And even then it doesn't matter, because you'd be trashing the estate anyways. What's the score anyways? Mick is up 2-1. That sounds right. You Exodus won the first game, then Mick's won the last two. I'm currently liking the Exodus approach a little bit better here, ever so slightly. Like, this will be a Taskmaster for Exodus, and the next turn will be a Tragic Hero. And then you'll be pretty happy. So I think just leave it at that. I'm also not entirely sure what the cabin boy is gonna do. Like, in order to hit 5 next turn, you want it to be 2 coins, although I don't know how good hitting 5 is as opposed to like getting a crypt or whatever. Yeah. Alright. So this looks super clean from you, Exodus. I'm really liking it. This should be a Tragic Hero, no question. I think the cabin boys were quite a good distraction, but not really making it. So this should be another Tragic Hero. I don't know if another Taskmaster's got to be good, because like you see it once and it's just going to stay out forever. There's no way you're missing any time here, or you're not going to let yourself miss. So Tragic Hero Taskmaster seems super clear. Crypt is not where it's at. Crypt is so not where it's at. Yeah, this was not good. This is gonna make the Tragic Hero pop, which is maybe something you want, but you'd be so much better off just seeing a Tragic Hero this turn right here. Can add the Crypt later. Which Crypt? Both of them. I'm not loving either of the Crypts, to be clear. Mick might also have a little trouble hitting. No, Mick will be fine for hitting 5. I mean, this is just a Tragic Hero. I guess this Crypt is also going to screw up the Tragic Hero so that they can't pop. That makes it extra bad. You're only going to be able to set aside like 1 copper. 2 coppers maybe? 1 copper? I don't know. How does this work? It's like more than 8? 8 or more. Yeah, that Pendant is not good. That Pendant is going to be 2 coins for so long. That was, I guess 3 coins. I lied. Only being able to set aside 2 things with Crypt is a sure sign that it was a bad move. I'm just gonna say. This should probably be another Tragic Hero for Mick. There's like no point in actually buying any of these treasures. If you're buying a treasure before the Tragic Heroes are gone, you've messed up. Sack of loot, buy 2 Tragic Heroes. You might think about Tragic Hero Crypt, but you're so unlikely to draw it. This is just 2 Tragic Heroes for me. Yeah. I might actually preserve this Tragic Hero as Meg, yeah. I guess it wasn't gonna work anyways. No, it would have worked. 8 cards. Well, that makes keeping this Tragic Hero super bad over here. Or at least I think it's super bad. This is another really sad crypt. Like, you can't actually be setting things aside because you're gonna miss your price points. Or you're gonna miss the Tragic Hero pops. Here's where Crypt's just, like, tempting you into doing really dumb things. Like, having Crypts in your deck. I think you eventually want Crypt, but... yeah, okay, Mick decides that he does need the pop, which is true. You do need the pop. And then this Tragic Hero will fail, but that's actually probably a positive. I guess the Tragic Hero doesn't have to fail. It could have been a successful Tragic Hero, but Insignia is actually super, super, super nice. I want to say for a change, and it is for a change. That was possibly actually the best loot that could have been pulled there. In a stunning twist of events. I don't know how many coppers to set aside. It's all so confusing. You want to set aside some number of coppers that keeps you with 8 cards. And probably exactly that many coppers. So what? There's 2 cards in there, so 2, 3 for the sack of loot, 4 for the Tragic Hero. So you want to set aside... I guess you can actually set aside all 5 coppers. Just fine. Yeah, I think you can set aside all 5 here. You want to pop Tragic Heroes for, like, Figurine sack of loot next turn. That sounds right. Maybe a Pendant. Yeah, so this one's a little bit maybe confusing. Because I don't think Exodus has another Tragic Hero. Let's just get the sack of loot just last turn, yeah. Alright. So this one might want to be a Figurine. Yeah. I'm actually kind of liking both of these being figurines. Yeah. Puzzle box is really nice. I just take 3 Tragic Heroes. There's nothing else to do. They're totally the best card. What is this? Knight of the Loot? No, we're seeing 1 Knight card. This has got to be 3 Tragic Heroes. Like, yeah, alright. You don't want a Faithful Hound. Well, actually you do want a Faithful Hound. I lied. That should have come with a Hound. Figurine Hound is thingish. Like, minorly. and I think it's good enough to do. So yeah, I think that should have come with a Hound. Alright, this ought to be a Pendant figurine. It could also be a figurine sack, but I'm liking Pendant figurine. Probably a little bit more. And then the buys will be like Tragic Hero, I guess Werewolf, because it can go on top and you're happy with that. I mean, you're also like not the least thrilled with it's not the least thrilling to have a werewolf just draw during your treasure playing phase. I don't actually know how much money there's going to be. I guess with Pendant, if you take the Pendant, they'll be quite enough. So figurine, nope, it's another sack. A little bit surprising. I think the second sack could have waited a turn and taken a figurine right here. Although I don't actually know how much money is really necessary. So here I'm kind of expecting like Tragic Hero on top, Werewolf on top, figurine. Could see 2 werewolves also. That's probably fine. Like the Tragic Hero, I guess, can get your figurine that you can then immediately draw with the other werewolf. Okay, I'm liking the 2 werewolves. Ooh. Ugh. Now I just get to see tons of money. This also times out really well for you, Exodus, seeing the Crypt right here. Incredibly so, really. So right now I probably want like, I don't know, 2 werewolves, 2 figurines, and a faithful Hound. I don't know if that actually puts you at risk of losing next turn. We're actually pretty close to having some sort of pile out, I'm pretty sure. So we might actually rather see like a province, 2 werewolves, and a figurine. I may be overly obsessed with figurine right now. Yeah. I'll admit. Province 3 werewolves. Province 2 werewolves figurine. I think I'd probably go Province 2 werewolves figurine, set aside all the coppers. And another Pendant. Also probably appropriate. I'm not quite sure how the draw works out next turn, so that was all kind of guesswork. This might be a whole lot better. You could set aside all the coppers, maybe a silver too. I'd probably just go all the coppers though. And like you're perfectly happy to be doing that. I wonder if UX will have a win next turn. It'll actually be pretty close to piling provinces. Assuming Mick doesn't just do that this turn, which is also totally a possibility. Although I think Mick will struggle to do that without a figurine. Like you can get either a Pendant or a figurine off this Tragic Hero and not both, so you might not be producing quite as much money as you'd like. Because like you need the figurine to do the gain and play on the sack of loot stuff. I do not like that crypt. In fact, I really, really hate that crypt. Because I wanted to necessarily draw whatever this thing is. It goes into the discard. Which was a pendant, but it didn't get drawn. Well, maybe I like the crypt looking at this hand. I think Mick's in pretty tough spot here. I mean, I think like the cabin boy stuff was not the most amazing, and I think figurine's pretty good, and both of those happened. So hard to say. I do think that Exodus is plausibly looking at a win this next turn. The draw is a little bit light, but the figurines might make up for it, or should make up for it. And by win, I mean like it's gonna be done by having 48 or whatever coins. 40. I think 40 is going to be actually pretty easy. Like 40 should be super easy if Exodus draws, which isn't the most guaranteed, but we'll see. Probably needs to find one werewolf at least. Yeah, it might be pretty tough. Okay, 40 will be easy if Exodus draws. As will 40 for Mick next turn, I suppose. Maybe. It might actually be tougher on this side. I'm thinking without the figurines you can't get quite as much loot, although there's, I guess, 2 that just went into there, so I don't know for sure. This was what, 26? So add a pendant, add 6. Yeah, I think Mick gets there too if Mick gets the turn. We'll see. I'm totally ready to declare Exodus a winner, but this is not the most likely to draw ever. The duchy from Mick did like nothing. I'm pretty sure that duchy was just bad. Should have been a werewolf. Okay, so this is a problem. Yeah. This is not going to end up working out. I guess Mick's actually not like the most guaranteed to be hitting whatever number also, despite having the crypts out. There is only 3 werewolves here, and it's exactly the same situation as we saw over on this side. So yeah, I think that should have been a figurine. That was. This is probably mildly unfortunate. Maybe it just hits the numbers. Oh yeah, it totally just hits the numbers. Okay. You didn't even have to draw completely, and 40 was easy. As I say, the duchy for Mick did nothing, but I don't think Mick would have been able to. I don't think Mick would have been able to make it up. We'll need a new table again, annoyingly. So that makes it 2-2. And we'll play the table shuffle. I'm guessing. There we go. It's these traits. Really, it's just a like absolutely terrible bug. But Now, what do we have? We have Viking Schemes, Plunder, and Hinterlands. And the reason it's a Viking scheme is because it has Berserker in it. It also features such amazing cards as Frigate, which will make things extra fun. In that drawing's going to be a little bit tough. What that really means is everything turns into draw to X. Stables, crew, wealthy village, you name it. It does make Berserker look pretty lackluster. I'm gonna be real. So openings, I do not like a 2/5. I would probably possibly open like Scrounge and Estate Crucible, just to try to get stuff kind of down quickly. 3/4. So I'm gonna say advantage Mick on this one. The five's really awkward. You plausibly take crew, but it's not really where I'd want to be at. Eventually, I guess your goal is going to be play a frigate each turn, and then the 4 best cards or four best treasure payloads to have is probably going to be all loot. I want to say Cabin Boy looks pretty dang important. This should be a Scrounge. This should totally be a Scrounge. Cabin Boy looks pretty important as a non-treasure source of money. Endless Chalice looks surprisingly good. Maybe not surprisingly, but Endless Chalice looks pretty good to me. Yeah, Exodus is just in a tough spot. I think this should be a stables for Mick. I want to say I don't know that cursing's going to be that worth it, but with the only trasher being a treasure, it does make the curses pretty hard to deal with. Might think about a frigate here already. Probably not. Probably another stables. UX is actually in a pretty bad spot here because this isn't going to hit 4 either. I think actually that 5 rather than anything should have just been a Crucible. It almost had to be, just to make sure that you do actually start trashing cards. Because this hand's going to hit 3 again. That's 2 estates down there. I think they've been underusing Scrounge early on here. Another Crucible. Oh, there's another stables. Well, I lied about only hitting 3. So this is like the clearest Crucible you've ever seen. It has to happen right now. No question. I guess the other thing of note is that Mick with a silver is already sort of in position to start getting loot with Wealthy Village. If that's something that you're into. So that might be a point in that favor. I don't think Berserker's where it's at. We might see one here, though. Okay. I mean, it's hard to say discarding 2 coppers isn't impactful, because it totally is, and it totally was. Not drawing the Crucible here was kind of a disaster. But that's what Berserker will do to you. So Mick could take a Wealthy Village here. I think it's like way early. Although having the 2 terminals in the deck, it becomes a lot more tempting for sure. And I mean, you'd take a loot with it, right? You wouldn't trash the silver to not take a loot. Right? Right? Nope. We're gonna go down to 4 and we're gonna scrounge an estate back with the stables. Okay. I'm so not a fan. Like, I don't, despite Crucible, I really don't think that having estate in your deck over copper is a good thing. Which is exactly what that was. Is having estate in the deck over copper. So I'm attributing that to being not attributing, but I'm going to say that was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. I'm a little bit surprised that UX hasn't picked up a second Crucible. That maybe should have happened this last turn, just because they are so far kind of behind on the trashing. Maybe it'll happen this turn. Although, given that last turn was a cabin boy, I'm kind of expecting this to just be another one. See what I know. Jewels. Probably one that you are pretty happy to see. This is going to be another wealthy village. I'm guessing. Yep. Prize goat's nice to see. No. Frigate is starting. So now you have a decision to make. I'd play the Berserker. I want Berserker gaining another Crucible and then buying Wealthy Village. I guess it could also be Berserker gaining a Cabin Boy. I think this Frigate's no good at all. But that's alright. Oh, there's already a Wealthy Village in deck. Well, ignore me. Play the Frigate, buy Frigate. It looks better than... See what I know about the decks. Alright. Getting back around to that Frigate is really, really nice. This game's actually looking pretty effectively over right now. I thought Mick was actually fairly ahead early, but things have happened since then. I guess the stables did a lot of good, but I also think Mick was missing opportunities. Potentially. I would be scrounging, pretty sure. I guess you've picked up a second Crucible now. Maybe I wouldn't be scrounging. I could actually imagine this just being like double stables. Just really make sure that you hit the Frigate each turn. Wealthy Village Crew also a possibility, but right now you also want to be getting more trash down against the Frigate attacks, so double stables is looking pretty good to me. Figurehead is like the absolute worst thing ever here. It's like completely and utterly useless. That's probably not, like, that's probably a little bit ungenerous to it, but against Frigate attacks, it's just, like, first of all, it doesn't really do anything. So that's bad. And then second of all, like, well, I guess you can Crucible it. That's a good use for Figurehead. Yeah, the duration just is not helpful. Duration draw is just not helpful. I think we might actually be seeing a resign out of Mick pretty soon here. Now that I'm looking at how the game's going. The other thing out's jewels. Okay. Yeah, I want more stables. I want more stables. Alright, that looks good. So I guess UX is actually going to have something of a decision to make here, whether to prioritize like having money or not. You obviously keep the frigate. You might ditch like... Okay, that was not really what I was expecting. Like Mick's still behind, but this kind of series of turns where there's been a priority on putting frigate over, I don't know, just drawing a little bit, has been kind of surprising to me. Yeah, I have not been much of a fan. I'm also not really a fan of Mick doing the scrounges. It may feel like it may be more of a desperation play over there, but it has certainly not seemed so amazing to me. Like you can just get Cabin Boy. It's sort of peddlerish, and you're totally happy with sort of peddlerish. So let's not be going up and getting these loots that we probably can't even play all of. Well, that's not true. There's only like 4 out there, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. So here I just want stables Cabin Boy. What's one called? Viking Schemes. Crew, man, I am not liking these scrounges. They seem so bad. Like the game's not close to over. The estate's not doing any good. You have to Crucible it. You only have 4 cards in hand at a time. It's not good. It's not it's not right. Not a fan. We're gonna see a frigate here from Mick to keep those up, assuming that Mick draws around to it, which I'm not so certain of, especially since this turn's gonna have a Berserker coming in. Yeah, we'll see about it. Like it's a kind of a, I don't want to say, well, it's kind of this classic Dominion thing since the beginning of time, where the best way to be countering discard attacks, really of any kind, and I guess probably frigate especially, is make sure that you're trashed down. And so like my priorities this game would have been trash. And I mean, I feel like I'm not seeing that from either side here. And it's I don't know. I'm not gonna say drive me a little crazy, but it's just not really how I would have constructed my deck this game. And I feel like I'm seeing effects there. Yeah. So now we're just gonna probably see a lot of cabin boys. Would be my guess. This is really nice for you, Exodus, not to be frigate attacked here. This is being like a full good turn. Play frigate. I don't know, you might think about trashing Figurehead. 17, no, that does absolutely nothing. Keep Figurehead, trash the copper. I'm just making stuff up. The Figurehead's useless, but a gold that durations is better than a copper in any case. You might be wanting something that isn't Figurehead, but oh man, I am not liking this. I am not liking this, not liking this. Not liking it at all. Are we really going to rebuy the Berserker? There's going to be 2 provinces and a Berserker after the sword play. I'm not feeling it. Let's see here. 2 provinces. Are we rebuying? No, we're not rebuying Berserker. We're getting a wealthy village. I'm not liking the wealthy village either. I'd just rather have the stables. Is Mick feeling like a province is necessary? I don't think I'd be feeling like a province is necessary. Well, I would be trashing the copper. I like trash copper and buy 2 cabin boys. I don't think putting all this loot in is doing anything. Like, possibly actively bad, even. Hold Crucible Scheme stables and then discard the 2 loots maybe. This is where having way more cabin boys would be useful, wouldn't it? Money that isn't gonna have to get discarded out of your hand does seem pretty good. Does seem pretty good. So now we're just going after a province, which, I mean, I guess on you, Exodus' side, it doesn't seem that unreasonable to just do this, because you have to imagine, like, with what you've seen out of mixed deck, that the frigates are not going to be consistent. There's not going to be a frigate play this turn. It's not going to happen. Mick is going to have to top deck this crew, and that's going to be the end of the turn. There's no wealthy village in here. There's no nothing. So, yeah. That'll just be a Berserker play, I guess. Alright. This might be getting actually, well, we'll see how much UX actually ends up drawing. But this is actually going to be getting pretty close to triple. I say, as it is nowhere close to triple. Well, you probably trash provinces to get to triple. That seems like something I'd totally be willing to do at this point. What is this, like 10? I'd trash 2 provinces and triple. that puts you up 24-0 with 2 provinces left in the deck, and you have a frigate out. Like, come on. That's putting... Oh, you can't triple because you only have 2 buys. What the hell am I talking about? Well, maybe you trash the frigate and double then? No, that doesn't work either. I'd trash a province. I think milling province is gotta be good at this point. Mick doing better than... Even single is probably unrealistic. Doing better than double is... Even doing double is unrealistic. Yeah, I don't like that. I think this should have been a province trash. For sure. Discarded a cabin boy. That looks like it was just a misclick. I couldn't tell exactly. Maybe you wanted to keep the copper in hand for stables. That's plausible. Okay. Maybe it wasn't a misclick. I think you're probably going to end up crucibling the Sextant here. You're probably feeling a little bit of pressure to score. Or you're feeling a little bit of pressure to... I don't know. Like, I don't think that Mick is in this game right now. I think it's just getting played out. I'm not feeling like there's some grand plan that's gonna make everything work. Anyways. Other than, like, this deck continuing to kind of fail a little bit. But this is even 2 provinces just like this, and yeah, it's not happening. It's so not happening. All right, 3-2 to you, Exodus. We're going to have to do the table shuffle again. Really be nice if that were to get fixed. It'll be Mick first at the new table. And it is going to be the other Nocturne set, Skeleton Isle. Wait. Why was that one skipped over? Oh well. Whatever. That will be Ravagers, maybe. Plunder and Dark Ages. I guess we're skipping over repeat expansions. Alright. Let's see, we have Tireless Foragers, so you get to see a lot of those. We do have a lack of draw. Yeah, this is looking like a lack of draw. Well, you have, like, Ironmonger Estate, that's not really draw. Trickster, I guess, is sort of draw. Cutthroat messes up all your draw. We do have King's Cash loot here. We also have Enlarged loot here out of Cutthroat, out of potentially Invasion. Pillage isn't looking too useful like normal. Trickster is actually looking probably pretty good. Ironmonger Silver, huh? I wonder what this is. I guess this is possibly going after Counterfeit. One thing to consider about, like, the no draw, no cycling bit is, yeah, okay, going after Counterfeit. One thing to consider about the no draw, no cycling bit is, like Grotto will do that for you. It won't draw very much, but it will get the cycling going. Mick is largely skipping Forager, which at least for now, which may be something a result of the tireless on it. You just don't want to see Forager like every single turn early, especially when you're trying to get up to things like 5. So that seems like a reasonable way to go about it, but and I mean, now you Exodus is hitting 5 at a point when Mick already has 3 of them. maybe not the best way to go about it. I'm fully expecting this to be a counterfeit. I don't like the Cutthroat hardly at all. No, I think Mick will just keep getting Ironmongers here. Nope, now I see a Forager. Always trying to surprise me. Counterfeit. That would pop the Cutthroat. I don't know that it's good, but oh, we have Trickster Shield coming. If you could draw a lot, that would be significant, but you can't. So it's of more questionable significance. I don't know. Like I'm feeling the need for Grotto. I'd discard that silver. 6 isn't doing you anything. Or 6 is doing you something, and I hate the gold compared to counterfeit. I guess figureheads draw. You can be happy about that. Alright, King's Cash. You gotta be discarding the gold, right? No, apparently you don't gotta be discarding anything. Like, I don't know, if you start King's Cashing Figurehead, you're drawing, right? So Mick probably doesn't want another counterfeit. Probably can't buy another King's Cash, so I guess it's just going to be Ironmonger. Maybe get another Grotto? Okay. We might start to see some pretty big Grotto set-asides here, although this Cutthroat's gonna mess that up pretty bad. Lee. I don't know, it just seems like kind of a tough board. Tough board. Like, if you can get both figureheads, man, you're happy. You are so happy. Get both figureheads, King's Cash one each turn. You're gonna beat up some people. But accepting that, maybe not so much. So I think this will be. I mean, there's a Cutthroat out here, but I think you want to take that King's Cash, yeah. And we did not see another figurehead, so nothing going on there. I'm not sure why this Grotto is not being played. Oh, now I know why the Grotto is not being played. The utter genius that I am. I can see an invasion here. Put a Ironmonger on top, get a Duchy into the deck. Buy, I don't know what you'd buy off the 3. It's just fun to click invasion and see the stuff fly by, mostly. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like UX just is exactly in this game. Like the deck spend has the correct stuff in it, sort of, but there isn't a counterfeit, which is definitely not the correct stuff. There's a gold somehow. Like having a gold and no counterfeits really kind of mysterious. And I'm just not really seeing it. This might just be Ironmonger Province. Or, I guess, an invasion. Fun to click on. Top deck an Ironmonger. Maybe get a Trickster. It's not like Mick can exactly trash cards either. Like, you can see the Hovel and Overgrown Estate still in here. It is not amazing looking. By any means. So I actually think not getting a Trickster is probably looking like a problem for you, Exodus. Just because with no draw, you really can't be taking out those curses on command. Play Counterfeit first. Top deck Ironmonger. Buy another Ironmonger. That's my guess anyways. But we know how my guesses have been going so far. Yeah, alright. Nope, I got this one right. I really like to find the figurehead. I'd discard the silver. I think the figurehead's in there, right? Maybe not. If the figurehead's in there, I'm totally discarding the silver. Like, put a King's Cash on figurehead, man, that stuff's good. Alright. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. King's Cash on figurehead. Pretty good. And invasion. Try to get the other one. I say try to get the other figurehead. Just do everything you can to get the other figurehead. What could possibly go wrong there? There should be a Trickster on top. Absolutely. Wow, I hate that storm so much. I mean, it'll look okay this turn, but on future turns, when you're getting, cutthroated and don't have the duration draw, oof. Not pretty. Cutthroat, Trickster. I guess we're deciding whether we want to forge the counterfeit. That would be the thing, I think. Maybe you forge the sword instead? No. We're forging counterfeit. Okay, just buying province. Look at this turn. Just look at this turn. That figurehead being amazing. I don't understand discarding the Forager with a curse in hand. I don't get it. Also, you know that a shield's been set aside, so I don't think keeping the Cutthroat's that amazing either. Let's see. Alright, let's imagine King's cashing this counterfeit and how much money that makes. What does it make? 21? You can get 24, 25, 26, 27. I might totally do it. Trash gold insignia. Like you're probably not gonna get this opportunity again. There's all this treasure in your deck and like, you know, just go hit 24, buy 3 provinces. Like the next time you're gonna be able to do this is the next time you King's cash a figurehead, which totally might never happen again, especially if you don't King a counterfeit. Oh, come on, it's not that hard. I guess it's trying to pile estates. Is that happening? There's no way that this piles. There's no way that this piles stuff. Right? Like, you're getting, how many buys out of it max? Yeah, okay. I think this is correct. I think this is absolutely correct. And then I just like buy 3 provinces. Like that's so gotta be the best thing to do here. You lose all this treasure out of your deck, but so what? So what? Like you do this and you'll still be able to, you know, put King's Cash counterfeit on Sextant, on King's Cash on Figurehead. Like you're still gonna have the money to buy provinces. It's not like clearing this out of the deck screws that up, and in fact it maybe makes it more likely even. I totally think taking out, you know, I guess not the insignia, gold, silver, that gets you to 24 too. Maybe gold, copper does. What's that? Gold, copper is 3 plus 12 is 15, plus 2 is 17, plus silver, insignia, sextant. Yeah, let's see counterfeiting gold, copper, and triple provincing. That's what I think. That's what I think is good. Like take it while you can. You may never get this opportunity again. Silver gets you up to 19, I guess. All right, gold, silver, copper. You can even do it that way. Keep a gold around. My counting skills are amazing. Yeah, okay. Let's see 3 provinces. Awesome. Alright, I think that was a good move. What's the thing in play? Cutthroat? Yeah. Does not get to King's Cash the figurehead, but this is still pretty good. Leave King's Cash, Ironmonger there. Buying Province is probably... No, there's this Grotto out. I wouldn't be buying Province, I don't think. It's probably safe, but... Yeah, you might regret it. You could also do, like, an invasion and put an enlarge on top. That might actually be the best move, is let's see, an invasion with an enlarge on top and then another duchy. Also a possibility. And then we'll get Endless Chalice and it's not gonna matter. Like, I totally believe that you can think that Province is too dangerous here. I'm not gonna, if you think that, I'm not gonna blame you for it. Obviously, I'm looking at Mick's hand and seeing that there's no way, but, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna say Invasion with an enlarge on top's gotta win better than that. Yeah, I mean, Mick sees a loot here, and it's pretty much there, isn't it? 3 more coins, I guess that's short, but... See a loot instead of the province. Game's over if you take a province and you lose. No good. Mick here, I think, has to province. Yeah. Estate seems alright. So now Mick's looking at a pretty good turn, right? Exodus has this storeroom that's actually really helpful. Maybe you discard the counterfeit. No, this is just a win, right? This is just a win. Yeah. So Exodus takes the recommended sets crown. I think a pretty impressive showing. There were some decisions that I liked, and there were some decisions that I didn't like. I totally did want a trickster on this board, but the kind of the figurehead I think really came through here. So that was a fun tournament to watch, and I hope everybody enjoyed watching this final and whatever games you had watched before. And again, congratulations to you, Exodus, and I'll see you all